These stories echo the age-old truth that prayer remains the cornerstone of revival. Throughout the annals of history, an unshakable truth has emerged. Prayer is the spark that ignites revival. This connection between fervent prayer and spiritual awakening has been woven into the very fabric of the church's journey throughout the ages. As we look at the history of the church, we discover a profound relationship between prayer and revival. In 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verses 11 through 15, we see King Solomon, who after completing the temple had a deep encounter with God. God's message was clear. When difficult circumstances engulf His people, whether it's drought or locust or plagues, the path to revival begins with prayer. God's promises echo throughout the centuries. I will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sin, and I will heal their land. If we travel back into the 18th century, we find ourselves in the midst of an amazing spiritual awakening spearheaded by men like John Wesley and George Whitefield. They were men of prayer who shook the very foundations of their society. Their lives were marked by passionate prayer from dawn to dusk and in the silent watches of the night. They were not content with superficial times of prayer. They longed for a deep and intimate time in His presence. Whitefield spoke of being so overwhelmed by God's majesty that he was broken in His presence and offered himself as a blank canvas for God to inscribe His will. The result? A revival that went far beyond his expectations. Crowds swelled as hearts hungered for the spiritual truth he offered. People clung to the church railings, ascended to rooftops, and filled every crevice of space, leaving a lasting mark on history. Fast forward to today, and we see growing churches worldwide bearing witness to the power of prayer. God is moving in China. Many thousands of Iranians are coming to Christ. Revival among Christians is growing in parts of India. All of these mighty moves of God's Spirit are accompanied by prayer. These stories echo the age-old truth that prayer remains the cornerstone of revival. Despite the shifting sands of time and the rapid pace of modern life, God's throne remains unshaken. His offer of revival stands firm. If my people will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sin and heal their land. God's promise has not changed. You and I must humble ourselves and answer the call to seek the face of God. Revival is not a relic of the past, but it's an eternal promise. The link between prayer and revival is unbroken. When we pray, we are not merely petitioning God, we are creating a connection with the Creator of the universe, inviting His power and presence to sweep through our lives and our world. As you ponder this timeless truth, consider your role in the grand tapestry of history. When you kneel in prayer, you join the ranks of those who have witnessed revival fires burning brightly. You become a vessel for God's healing our hearts, breathing life into dry bones and parched souls. Embrace prayer as your compass to lead you on a journey of revival. It's by prayer that you hold the key that unlocks the door of God's transformative power. The relationship between prayer and revival, a theme echoing through history, is calling you to participate in the miraculous. Embrace it and let your prayers be the catalyst for a mighty revival in your life and throughout our world.